What's going on, guys? It's your boy Scrubae here, back again with another video. Hope you guys are having a great day. I know I am, and I know I'm having a great day because I get to present to you something very special, ladies and gentlemen. I was kind of trolling the internet looking for some weird news this morning and stumbled upon something that I think is the ultimate Karen showdown, dude. We've got one mom who dresses her kids in like head-to-toe Gucci, right? And another mom who's mad at her for doing that. Both of which are dumb. So I figured today we could talk about the Karen showdown currently going down in the news and hopefully find it entertaining. Without further ado, let's go. So the headline that really caught my attention was, "My sister-in-law threatens to cut contact if I don't stop buying my kids expensive clothes." And obviously, right off the bat, you just gotta ask, like, how the family relationship is this bad already, you know? Call me crazy, not once have I ever had a family member that I enjoy being around and been like, if you wear this type of clothing, I won't like you anymore. This already has got to be one of the pettiest relationships of all time if they're willing to cut contact with you over what your kids are wearing. But in the same breath, I've never understood why people buy expensive clothes for kids, bro, because they're literally just going to outgrow them. Like, if you're just spending $800 on your kid to wear a Gucci shirt because you want to feel cool, you are also kind of cringe. Kids don't need designer expensive clothing. They just don't. Especially because as someone who was a former kid, dog, I would spill stuff on my clothes all the time. The last thing that I needed was like a $700 shirt. It just would have ended in disaster. Either way, a very petty thing to ruin your family over, you know, like 20 years from now, their great grandkids are going to be like, why have I never ever met any of my cousins or aunts? Well, it all started back in 1974. The day Gucci released. Like, it's like, dude, this is really not worth losing a family over. I can promise you that. Designer clothing. I guess we've reached the point in flex culture where, like, your clothing is worth more than your literal blood relatives. Anyways, there was like one sentence at the start of this, it got cut off, but it basically said that, like, she buys her kids nice clothes or whatever. It's no one else's business how much money you spend on your own children as long as they are adequately being cared for. So you can imagine one mom's frustration when she was approached by her sister-in-law and asked to not buy her daughter's designer clothing because she can't afford to buy it on her own. The mom and her husband, who work as a plastic surgeon and neurosurgeon, met in medical school before going on to marry and have two daughters, who are now 14 and 16. And of course, it goes without saying that with impressive careers like this, they earn a lot of money and are more than comfortable financially. Uh-oh, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Okay, here's my predictions. I think the mom that was like, oh, don't buy your kids designer clothing, shut up. You're not in charge of what people buy for their kids. You're just not, and you're stupid for trying to tell somebody what to do. Like, that's just not your job. At the same time, though, do you really need to be buying your kids Gucci? Like, do you have to be buying them designer? I don't think so. The only reason you're buying your kids designer is because you want to feel better than all the other parents. Do you know what I mean? And that's okay, that's fine, but like, at least be honest about what you're doing. You're not buying them nice designer clothes because, you know, they're better quality. You're doing it because you want to throw more money at a brand name to seem better than people. And you don't really need to flex in your position. Do you know what I mean? This is something that's always really confused me about some people on the internet, right? Like, there'll be a dude online who claims to be worth like $80 million, but he's constantly trying to convince everybody on the internet how rich he is. And it's like, if you were really worth $80 million, you wouldn't care that much. You are a neurosurgeon and a plastic surgeon. Whether or not you are wearing designer clothes, everybody knows you're rich. There's just really no need to go spend a bunch of money on clothes like that because they already know. Oh man, well, that couple, one of them's a neurosurgeon, one of them's a plastic surgeon. I wonder if they make any money. Yeah, they do. They make a lot of money. They could probably buy a small country. But, you know, even if you're making a lot of money, I don't really see the appeal of forcing your kids to be wearing designer clothes. And forcing's probably a stronger term. But obviously, you're being a little bit uppity and trying to rub people's noses in it if that's what you're doing. Her husband's brother and his wife, however, isn't as well off financially, and they're not in debt and they own a house or whatever. My daughters are very into fashion, and I think they're good at dressing up and making outfits. And since they both have good grades and are well behaved, we take them shopping. The mom explained that while she and her sister-in-law don't have the best relationship. They're cordial with one another and get along for the most part. However, things came to a head during a family dinner to celebrate the father-in-law. My daughters were dressed formally since that's what everyone agreed to. When my sister-in-law and her kids arrived, she stared at my daughters with a frown. Alright, I think the sister-in-law is stupid too. You don't get to tell people what to wear. Regardless of whether or not your sister-in-law is being hoity-toity and making her kids parade around in Gucci, doesn't matter. You're still not in charge of telling people what to do. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can't just walk up to somebody, I don't like that shirt, take it off. Like, that's just not up to you. You can agree that the shirt is dumb, but you can't tell them to take it off. See, this is the one thing, too. I think this lady is in the wrong for telling this lady what to do. 100% the sister-in-law is the aggressor here. But I got a feeling that this, surgeon lady is not, as nice as she's gonna paint herself out to be here. I just feel like the type of person who has to be wearing all designer clothing cares a lot about their appearance and probably, is maybe a little shallow. I don't know this person. I guess I can't really say that for a fact. But if you're spending $8,000 on an outfit, you're clearly a little vain. I love the occasions that they're dressing up for too, bro. Hey, it's Grandpa's birthday. Everybody get dripped out, head to toe designer. If there's any non-brand names, Grandpa will write you out of the will. This is not a joke. Let's go. It's go time. Chop, chop, chop. Even if this, sister-in-law has beef, though, she's gotta, not take it out on her nieces. That's ridiculous. You can't be frowning at the kids, pissed off at them because you disagree with the mom. First of all, it's not their fault, who their mom is and the decisions they're making. And B, even if you don't like the kids, you're the adult sister-in-law. You gotta figure this out like an adult. Later in the evening, before dinner was served, she pulled me aside and asked why I allowed the girls to wear these clothes. I asked what she meant and said that teenagers shouldn't wear expensive clothing if they didn't buy it with their own money. They went on to tell me that she didn't see an issue with buying them the clothes so long as they work for them in the form of getting good grades in school. So that's what she's saying. She's like, well, they get good grades, so that's fair. She told me it was not fair that her kids always asked her to buy them stuff from the same brands, and I asked her what I could do then, since honestly I don't think it's my problem, and she said to stop buying them those clothes and everything would be fine. Bro, could you imagine having the cojones to tell somebody to do that, dude? Somebody goes, Ryan, I can't buy Valorant skins, so you can't buy any anymore. Whether or not you agree with kids wearing designer, bro, it's not up to you to tell them that they're not allowed to do it. You're not allowed to spend your money on this. F off. That being said, I also think it's dumb to be buying it for them, dude. This really is the battle of the Karen. My kids need Gucci. Never buy it for them again. It's just going back and forth. The one thing that I think this surgeon mom does need to be aware of, though, is obviously if you're buying your kids designer, getting them really expensive clothing, paying for a lot of stuff, chances are they are going to get a little bit of entitlement from that. That's just a fact. If someone's buying you Gucci $800 clothing every week for getting B's in school, you might get a little bit of an entitled, spoiled complex. It doesn't mean you gotta stop buying it for them, but, just be cautious. I love the sister-in-law, too. She couldn't even wait till after, Grandpa's birthday, dude. She had to start beef at the dinner table. I understand we're at Olive Garden, but this can't wait. Grandpa's dude, I just want to enjoy my birthday. I don't have many left. I tried to politely tell her that I wouldn't, but she called for my mother-in-law and asked for her opinion. My mother-in-law said that they have no business deciding what the kids can wear and offered to buy some clothes from that brand for the kids. She started calling me selfish and that I didn't know what hard work was. I told her that my husband and I worked our butts off to be able to afford this, and she's being entitled, and then she cussed me out and went to the table to continue eating. The following day, the mom's husband received messages from the brother telling him that his wife acted like a beep, and demanding that she apologize to his wife, as well as complying with the wishes of not allowing their daughters to wear clothes. Now they're threatening to cut contact with us unless I apologize, but my ego is too big to do so, the mom explained before turning to the people of Reddit. Alright, that writing is terrible, so I'm gonna do a little summary. So basically, after the situation, she calls over the grandma. The grandma says, hey, you can't really tell them what to buy the kids. At that point, she cusses her out and goes back to the eat, leaving the neurosurgeon there. Then, the neurosurgeon's husband gets a text from his brother, the crazy lady's wife, saying that his wife, the neurosurgeon, was a bitch, and demanding that she apologize, and is threatening to cut off contact. And honestly, I see that as an absolute win. This person is basically offering to never talk to you again. They're never going to bother you, and they're choosing to do it. They are choosing to ruin the family and cause all these problems because of designer clothes. That's their choice. If they want to rock that boat and like drown in it, then that's up to them, bro. That's not your responsibility. The fact that she had to get her husband involved and like have him text your husband and be like, oh, you're mean. Like, all right, come on, dude. This is ridiculous. I say you just let him take the L. I can understand a little bit of the frustration, but the fact that she's like trying to make this petty and threatening to cut off contact means that you should just, let her do it. Like, why do you even care that much, man? If somebody is this much of a big poo-poo stinky head, just let them go. All this over some designer, though, man. Designer clothes are definitely just cursed. It's not worth it. You might end up losing the family. Anyways, guys, I think that's going to do it for the video. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, I would really appreciate you taking a quick second to press the like button. Let me know in the comments section down below what you thought. And, of course, subscribe if you're new. Turn on those notifications and become a member. If you really want to help out the channel, you can use code Scrubae at the G Fuel checkout. It's a great way to help out the channel, and you get a discount on G Fuel. Other than that, my podcast, The Scuffed Cast, is down below. And if you look on screen now, you will see the coolest merch to ever exist in the history of the planet. That can be yours. A link to that is also found down in the description. I know I'm biased, but it's fantastic. And yeah, other than that, guys, I think that'll do it for the video. Don't get anyone pregnant. If you do, make sure they're hot. I'm gonna go fight someone wearing Gucci, and hopefully I'll see you guys next time with another video. I'm out. Peace.